Bonaire, 1857. A print of this painting by G.W.C. Voorden, a Dutch Navy lieutenant, has hung in our home for years. He made this and other paintings while on tour in the Dutch West Indies. When lithographs were made in the Netherlands, text accompanied them. This painting's text said that the island is almost as dry as Curaçao. In the Leeward Netherland Antilles, it has an important place because of its large salt production. The salt pans are the sole property of the government. In 1857, 55.074 barrels of salt were collected. The population numbered, according to the last census, 2,791 souls, including 829 slaves owned by the government and private persons. This picture shows a view of the town. The water in the bay is quite deep, and the beach falls off steeply. Therefore, ships are always secured to the coast by a cable and kept off coast by the steady land wind. When the wind turns west or south, the harbor is unsafe, and therefore one has to be permanently ready to set sail. In 1831, during a hurricane that came in from the south, the warship Cyrene went down in the harbor. Salt production started in 1636, and over the next 2 centuries, the salt industry on Bonaire expanded. African slaves, Indians, and convicts mined the salt pans. These huts were used as sleeping quarters and places to put away personal things of the working team. Each Friday afternoon, the slaves walked 7 hours to Rincon to weekend with their families, returning each Sunday. By 1837, 4 obelisks were built near the salt pan to guide ships coming in to load. The obelisks were painted red, white, blue, and orange, the colors of the Dutch flag and the Royal House of Orange, to direct ships which came to load to the appropriate pan. These names are still used today. Slavery was not abolished until 1862. These are the slave quarters or huts at the White Slave Dive Site. These huts sit on an outcropping of land just south of Pink Beach. Next to the slave huts stands the white obelisk of the 4. On a previous dive, we briefly saw an anchor on this site from the 1850s. We wanted to see what more we would discover. On one dive, we also took Walter, our large camera designed for video, in low light conditions to see what we would find. Why might the anchor have been left? What other artifacts might we discover? Did the Dutch lieutenant leave clues? At the next wind drop, Doreen and I set out for the wall. A strong south-running current causes the Gorgonians to bend and attempts to impede our progress. Out in the sand, we see an enormous yellowfin grouper that looks to be 40 pounds or 18 kilos. These fish are very shy, and it swims for deeper water. A school of bogas pass between us out in the blue. They are followed by the school of blue runners. At the base of the wall, we find a large school of blue-striped grunts and gray snappers. Still no anchor. This lionfish gives me a wary eye. On this dive, we have Walter, and clearly rising up out of the sand at 36 meters is the salt ship anchor. Although today this current is running south, the strong wind would normally push the ship and its anchor into the west or northwest. Doreen comes in for a closer look. Could a wind reversal have caused the boat to turn around, forcing the ship toward the reef? The eye hole at the end of the shank, where the ring is attached, is pointing south, whereas the fluke is buried in the sand to the north. Are there ballast stones? Ballast stones were cut in rectangular blocks for tight packing in the hold. The existence of ballast stones might indicate that they had to reduce weight and run. Our light illuminates rectangular stones in the lower right-hand corner. We decided to swim north and came across a second anchor at 33 meters pointing in the same direction. We only know of one anchor ever found on this site. This one has more encrustation and is set farther into the coral. It is easy to pass up. A look south shows the other anchor pointing in the same direction. Even today, a wind reversal wreaks havoc with boats moored off the west coast. Boats often collide, or if the engine fails, hit the reef. Leaving the anchor, we head up, and we find this beautiful, massive sponge. This sponge is over 2 meters wide. In the shallows, we came upon this beautiful spotted eagle ray. Keeping up would prove to be a challenge. This palometa does not seem to have a problem and hangs above the ray looking for scraps of food. The two head off as the sun flickers through the clouds over the sand. A school of bogas races over our heads. Pink Beach's shallow reef makes an amazing safety stop. Thousands of small fish inhabit the coral. Wise words from a 19th century Dutch lieutenant may have given us insight as to the reason these salt ship anchors have been left near the White Pan obelisk. What seems clear is that we may have discovered another anchor from Bonaire's distant past. We will have to return to this site again to see what other pieces of history we might discover. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and hit the subscribe button and the bell. It goes a long way to supporting this channel and helps you to know when new content is released. Thank you for watching.